Is Team of the Season Lewandowski better than Team of the Season Kane? Well, no. But also yes. Allow me to explain. I'll show the gameplay and how good Lewandowski is in 1 minute, but let's first compare the stats to Kane. First of all, Kane is lengthy, opposed to Lewandowski, who is controlled. So with Kane, you can use almost every chemistry style to keep them lengthy, which is obviously only relevant for next gen. But that's what I do the reviews on. And Lewandowski only has Anchor, Architect, and Marksman as the ones to make him lengthy. So if you play next gen, you have to keep that in mind. But if we compare them, obviously the price of Lewandowski is much higher. It's also harder to fit in. The key difference already is that he has 4-star skill moves, while Kane has only 3. That's kind of the only letdown of Kane. Kane is super overpowered and everyone finds him annoying, but he cannot do much. He has just one trick, and that's run and shoot. While Lewandowski hopefully gives some more to it. Then if we look at the stats, pace-wise, pretty much the same. Shooting is pretty much the same. Only long shots and volleys are also 99 for Lewandowski, and I love long shots, so that helps for me. Passing, Kane wins by a lot, but that's mainly in crossing, vision quite a bit, and long passing. Because short passing is good, curve is alright, but it's really that long passing, the vision, and the crossing that's a key difference. But it should still be good enough for Lewandowski to be that playmaker at the striker position. Then dribble is really in favor for Lewandowski. He has 10 more agility, 12 more balance, 4 more ball control, and 4 less composure. He should feel much smoother on the ball than Kane does. And also in combination with his 4-star skill moves, that hopefully that brings something extra. And that's hopefully what the price difference is about. Then heading accuracy, it's pretty much similar. Physicality, also pretty similar. Only the stamina is much lower. So I wonder if he's gonna make the entire game with 85. But he has high medium work rates opposed to the high work rates of Kane. So that's the difference. So he runs a little bit less. They both have a unique body type. And they both have the outside foot shot. But Lewa also has a finesse shot and is a solid player, so he might feel even stronger than Kane. But let's stop comparing and let's just see how good Lewandowski is. And let's first start with his most interesting part, and that is his pace. He has similar pace to Kane, but where Kane is automatically lengthy, it is a bit different with Lewandowski. I noticed that on an engine on next gen, he didn't feel that fast. At times he was okay, so he felt quite slow when I used him on an engine, but I also used him while being lengthy. I played him with an Anchor and I played him with an Architect, and there was not much of a difference between the Anchor and Architect. So if you have to choose, I would personally go for Architect because he feels super fast still because of lengthy. It really feels like lengthy is back, but especially later in the clips you will see how fast he actually is while being lengthy, because in the beginning I used him as non-lengthy. But I would say on old gen or something he might feel a little bit slow. He's not that OP run merchant that Kane is, and I don't really know why, because they have pretty much the same pace. So if you don't have them lengthy, then it should be kind of similar. But it was still decent. Like, it's not that he's super slow. But then obviously his key stat, 99 shooting. Is it really 99? The answer is yes. It really is. There are a few shots that I missed, but that was more me because I also missed with my other players, and sometimes I didn't expect him to be at a certain point that I could shoot, and then I kind of panicked. It was also quite late that I recorded it, so I probably was just tired, but he scores everything, and he scores it with so much confidence. There's just no doubt about it that he's gonna score when you shoot. He has 5-star weak foot as well, so he just scores everything. Outside foot shot, finesse shot, just straight up bangers, he scores everything. And they look so powerful as well. It's crazy to see how powerful they look, and as soon as you release the shoot button, you just know it's a goal. So there's not much else to say about it, besides the fact that I even had a few red time shots that I scored, which was kind of weird, but they still felt super powerful and super accurate. And I've never really had it with any other player before, that if you really red time something, that it still goes so nicely towards the goal. I even have a long shot that I scored that way with a red time. It doesn't make sense, but it still went in, and it's crazy. He really has 99 shooting. His passing was alright. It wasn't amazing. I feel like Kane is much better at passing than he is, but he still had the job done. Like, you could still have some passing plays with him, and because he feels a little bit smoother on the ball, and we'll get to the dribble in a second, it just feels more natural to have passing plays with him. And maybe it's also because I just did a Griezmann player review and his passing was amazing. Maybe I compare it a bit too much with him, but for a striker, his passing is great. Let's just say it that way. Then if we go to his dribbling is 93 rated. It is a 93. Yes, he is much better at dribbling than Kane is, but his skill moves are slow. So the fact that you have 4-star skill moves, he did some good stuff. He did a few good ones, but they don't feel super fast. For someone who has 99 reactions, 96 ball control, and 92 dribbling, and then with 85 agility, it felt a little bit slow, but it definitely helps if you compare it, for example, to Kane. It's not the kind of player that you want to go and skill with all the time, that you want to just dribble with, but he can do it to get out of a certain situation. And that's the most important thing with a striker like that. The fact that he can get out of a situation with dribbling gives him the opportunity to shoot, and when you shoot, it's a goal. And then, of course, we have his physicality and heading accuracy, and that was sick. That was very good. Every corner is dangerous, even though he's not as tall as a striker per se. He just wins everything. With a goal kick, you can just kick it to him, and he wins every header there. He is super strong. That solid player trait really does something to him. He can really hold off a player with that. But there was also something weird about him, because he has 90 balance, and he has 94 strength and 88 aggression if you have no chemistry style on him. And with an architect, that all gets bumped up, but he got pushed away quite a bit as well, and it looked unnatural to me. It could have been the gameplay that was just weird, but whenever a defender went to him, he just flew away pretty much. And that was a bit weird. So in that way, his strength was like not consistent at all. So that was really weird to me. Like, he is super strong, but at that moment of me recording it, sometimes it wasn't there. But in general, I think he's great in physical duels. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still very good. But yeah, I think this is much more of a complete player than Kane. First of all, he's more complete, so it makes sense that he's more expensive, because in general, he's just better. But in terms of those OP meta players, Kane is more meta in that way, because there's just something about him. It's the same with Abraham. It's the same with Haaland. They just have something that they can run through every defense without a problem and score. And with Lewa, you can just have him more in your passing play, in your normal gameplay, and you don't need to abuse that running. When you're on next gen and you have him on lengthy, he can still do that, and his runs are then much closer to what Kane does. So if you really want him to be like similar to Kane and you're on next gen, definitely make him lengthy. For me, that felt the best. But if you're on old gen, I think an engine would be fine, and I think it would boost the stats that he's sometimes missing. But in general, is he worth it? I feel like he has 99 shooting, right? And there are not many players that have 99 shooting, so in that way, it's special. But I do think he should drop a little bit in price though still. He's close to 800,000 coins, but I feel like he should be more towards, with the current market, I would say around 500, 600,000. I think that's what would be his value. And don't get me wrong, he performs really well. But this market is mainly based about players that are just super meta and super OP, and those are the players that are very expensive. But yeah, if you have the coins and you want to get rid of Kane and you want to go more to La Liga, I would say definitely go for him. He is that kind of player that works as well as Kane, but in a little bit of a different way. And if you like passing plays more and you just want to be able to dribble and occasionally do a 4-star skill move with him, then yeah, definitely go for him, because I think he's worth it. I had a lot of fun with him. As you can see, he played 5 games for me and he has 19 goals. So he's definitely good, and I really had fun with him. And I think I will keep him in my main team for a bit. This is the team that I played him in, by the way. And as always, I play in a 4-2-3-1. And then I played like this. So Lewandowski, obviously as a striker, you don't want him anywhere else in my opinion. And just the other players as shown. And the instruction that I have him on is get in behind and stay forward. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with him. He did perform really well for me. And who also performed really well for me is Team of the Season Griezmann. I did a player review on him, and you can check it out right here if you want to go La Liga and you want a perfect cam behind Lewandowski.